Glenn is a real honest-to-God visionary. He has an incredible capacity to see things the way they are today and understand what the implications are for the future.
When you blow the dust off of history, it'll be very obvious that the art form of America is creative business.
For over 40 years, one name has been synonymous with the incredible reach of technology. As a businessman, Glenn R. Jones seems to have a crystal ball, and this selfless leader's vision to fuse education with the internet is making keeping up with the Joneses a real possibility for millions of people worldwide.
I grew up in western Pennsylvania and in a little steel mill coal mining region. Loved the Navy. I spent about 5 years in active duty and about 3 years in the reserves. Became an underwater bomb disposal frogman, explosive ordnance disposal officer, and did that for quite a while. That was interesting work.
After graduation from the University of Colorado School of Law, Glenn couldn't afford the trip back to Pennsylvania.
So he decided he wanted to go in the cable business. He borrowed $400 on his Volkswagen and bought the cable system in Georgetown, Colorado. He funded his cable acquisitions with limited partnerships. Nobody ever did that before, and before he was done, he raised over $1 billion and created one of the 10 largest cable companies in the United States.
He then sold that company and started a whole new business.
His inspiration came from visiting the Vietnam Memorial.
And was impacted by that.
Here are young people coming back and they've gone through pure hell. And he said, what could I do? And he said, I think I could develop an education system that would take care of these people and give them an opportunity to do what I did.
Started out with Mind Extension University, and that was using cable television to distribute college programs. He called it democratization of education, and that'll be his legacy.
Glenn then formed Jones International University, the first of its kind existing entirely in cyberspace.
He sees education as the great equalizer.
During this time, Glenn was also expanding into entertainment, forming Jones Media Networks, which develops programming for radio, television, and cable. He also created Great American Country. Along the way, he also penned a few books.
If you read some of his poetry, you'll see many references to planning and thinking and anticipating what the future is going to bring.
As part of his desire to share knowledge, Glenn is a founding member of the James Madison National Council, an advisory body to the Library of Congress.
The National Digital Library Project that we've done back there, we have about 21 million items digitized. If you can digitize it, then everybody in the world can have it in the living room at the same time. That's a whole different thing. That's scale.
Even with all of Glenn's accomplishments, he still doesn't take himself too seriously.
Great sense of humor.
Glenn did a short span as a stand-up comedian. He's on stage and he's telling the jokes, and it's not going well. And somebody threw a chair at him. So Glenn took the chair and sat in it, thinking that maybe it would give him sympathy. It didn't. More chairs came in.
Glenn epitomizes to me all that's good about capitalism.
It's also very, very exciting. It's creativity on steroids.